Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Infinity Forum, a thought leadership forum on fintech. Finance is the lifeblood of an economy and technology is its carrier. Both are equally important for achieving Antyodaya, says Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind confers annual national awards on International Day of Persons with Disabilities. 1,60,000 crore rupees transferred to the farmers directly under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, informs Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar. Government says India is on its way to achieve population stabilization. Over 17.2 crore Ayushman cards issued to the health insurance scheme beneficiaries till 28th of last month, says Union Health Minister in Lok Sabha. National COVID vaccination coverage crosses 126 crore mark. Recovery rate stands at 98.35%. Despite COVID-19, Navy has maintained combat and mission readiness, says Navy Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar. India were 84-1 when the reports last came in on the first day of final and second test match between India and New Zealand in Mumbai. And in Junior Hockey World Cup, India to take on Germany and France to clash with Argentina in the semi-finals in Bhubaneswar. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated Infinity Forum through video conferencing. The event is being hosted by International Financial Services Centres Authority under the aegis of Government of India in collaboration with Gift City and Bloomberg. Indonesia, South Africa and the UK are partner countries in the first edition of the forum.
I'm delighted to inaugurate the first Infinity Forum, and Infinity Forum represents the immense possibilities that fintech has in India. It also shows the huge potential of India's fintech to provide benefit to the entire world.
In his address, the Prime Minister said,
India has proved to the world that it is second to none when it comes to adopting technology or innovating around it. Transformational initiatives under Digital India have opened doors for fintech innovations to be applied in governance. Technology has also catalyzed financial inclusion. From less than 50% Indians having bank accounts in 2014, we have almost universalized with 430 million Jan Dhan accounts in the last 7 years.
Highlighting the importance of fintech, Mr. Modi said fintech has immense opportunity in the country and now it is time to convert these fintech initiatives into a fintech revolution. Mr. Modi said fintech is resting on 4 pillars: income, investments, insurance and institutional credit. He said India's digital public infrastructure solutions can improve the lives of citizens around the world. The Prime Minister said mobile payments exceeded the ATM cash withdrawals for the first time last year in the country, and fully digital banks have become a reality and may become a commonplace in less than a decade.
Fintech Revolution, a revolution that helps to achieve financial empowerment of every single citizen of the country. Fintech industry has achieved huge scale. This fintech acceptability among the masses has a unique feature. That feature is trust. The common Indian has shown immense trust in our fintech ecosystem by embracing digital payments and such technologies. This trust is a responsibility. Trust means that you need to ensure that the interests of people are secure. Fintech innovation will be incomplete without fintech security innovation.
Terming the Gift City as a gateway to the global fintech world, the Prime Minister said it is not merely a premise, it represents India. He said it represents India's democratic values, demand, demography and diversity. He said it also represents India's openness to ideas, innovation and investment.
Gift City is a gateway to the global fintech world. A Gift City was born out of the vision that finance combined with technology would be an important part of India's future development. Our aim is to provide the best international financial services not just for India but for the world.
The Prime Minister said finance is the lifeblood of an economy and technology is its carrier. He said both finance and technology are equally important for achieving Antyodaya and Sarvodaya. Our correspondent reports that this two-day event is a thought leadership forum with a focus on aspects relating to fintech and using it for inclusive growth. Infinity Forum has an interesting theme, Beyond. The forum will witness participation from over 70 countries. Various ministers of different countries, CEOs and MDs of domestic and international companies will participate in the event. Niti Aayog, Invest India, FICCI and NASSCOM are some of the key partners to this year's Infinity Forum. President Ramnath Kovind today conferred national awards for outstanding work towards empowerment of persons with disabilities in New Delhi on the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. The awards were given to individuals, institutions, organizations, states and districts for their outstanding achievements and work towards the empowerment of persons with disabilities. Speaking on the occasion, Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Dr. Virendra Kumar said the government has taken several steps for the empowerment of persons with disabilities.
सरकार दिव्यांगजनों के लिए राष्ट्रीय डाटाबेस तैयार करने के उद्देश्य विशिष्टता दिव्यांगता पहचान पत्र परियोजना को कार्यान्वित कर रही है। अब तक सभी राज्यों, संघराज्य क्षेत्रों के 713 जिलों में 64 लाख से अधिक यूडीआईडी कार्ड तैयार किए जा चुके हैं। हमने आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के दौरान यूडीआईडी कार्ड जारी रखने की दिशा में पूर्णता प्राप्त करने का लक्ष्य रखा है। सरकार ने ग्वालियर मध्य प्रदेश में दिव्यांगता खेल केंद्र का निर्माण कर रही है।
Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said over 17.2 crore Ayushman cards have been issued to the health insurance scheme beneficiaries till the 28th of last month. In a written reply, he said 2.49 crore hospital admissions worth 28,863 crore rupees have been authorized through a network of about 24,000 impaneled public and private health care providers. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has refuted allegations that there were several losses of lives due to shortage of oxygen to the second wave of COVID-19 in the country. During question hour in the Lok Sabha today, he said several state governments have replied to the centre's query on the subject, saying there have been no deaths due to lack of oxygen except in Punjab, where there were 4 suspected cases of deaths. He said the issue of lack of oxygen supply is being politicized.
विदेश से टैंकर भी मंगाए गए, नेवी का उपयोग किया गया। ये सारी व्यवस्था करके देश में ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी हो, ऐसा भारत सरकार ने प्रयास किया। ऐसी स्थिति में भी कई लोगों ने राजनीति नहीं छोड़ी, कोर्ट में चले गए, कोर्ट से अपना ज्यादा डिमांड को दिखा के ऑर्डर ले आए। तो ये राजनीति ऑक्सीजन पर चली और बाद में कितने डेथ हुए ये भी राजनीति चली। भारत सरकार की ओर से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी माननीय मुख्यमंत्री की मीटिंग में भी बार बार कहा कि उसमें कोई छुपाने की आवश्यकता नहीं है।
The centre has said India is on its way to achieve population stabilization. In a written answer in the Lok Sabha today, Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare Dr. Bharati Praveen Pawar said the total fertility rate has declined to 2 in 2019-20 as per the 5th National Family Health Survey, adding it is below the replacement level. Minister of Law and Justice Kiran Rijiju said his ministry is taking proactive steps to make sure a proper justice redressal mechanism is introduced in the country. Mr. Rijiju said the government is also trying to create awareness across the country to strengthen the online dispute resolution system. He said in order to introduce an alternative dispute resolution mechanism, the Niti Aayog has taken steps.
Ayush Minister Sarvananda Sonowal said the government is working on increasing the purview of treatment provided to people using the Ayush facilities. Replying to the question in the Lok Sabha, the minister said that there is a yoga certification board that certifies yoga practitioners to overcome the problem of counterfeit practitioners. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor expressed the view that a research university for Ayurveda in Kerala, as promised earlier, is required to be promoted. To this, Sarvananda Sonowal, Minister of Ayush, replied that if a proposal is presented before the government, the feasibility of establishing an Ayurveda university in Kerala will be examined. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Tomar is informed that 1,60,000 crore rupees has been transferred to the farmers in the bank accounts directly under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi PM Kisan scheme so far. In reply to a question in the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Tomar said that the amount has been transferred to the 11 crore 50 lakh eligible beneficiaries covered under the scheme. He said the purpose behind the implementation of the scheme is to enhance the income of farmers of the country.
The Rajya Sabha today conducted zero hour and question hour smoothly before it was adjourned for lunch till 2:30 p.m. When the House met for the day, opposition members raised the issue of suspension of 12 members. The Rajya Sabha chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu said that he has already given a suggestion to the leader of the House and leader of opposition and other members to sit together and find a solution to the issue for smooth functioning of the House. On the allegation that leader of the opposition Mallikarjun Kharge was also not allowed to speak, Mr. Naidu said that Mr. Kharge was allowed to speak during zero hour on 30th of November. Mr. Naidu also rejected the motion moved by opposition members on various issues, saying they can be raised on other avenues in the House. BJP's Rajya Sabha MPs today held a protest at the Mahatma Gandhi statue in the Parliament House complex over unruly opposition behaviour. Opposition MPs have been demonstrating against the suspension of 12 Rajya Sabha MPs for the winter session of Parliament for the past few days. Suspended opposition MPs are continuously sitting on dharna.
India has crossed yet another milestone in the COVID vaccination drive, with the total vaccination crossing the 126 crore mark today. Union Health Ministry has termed it as yet another achievement in its fight against COVID-19. The Union Health Ministry said more than 73,67,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said 8,612 COVID patients recovered with the last 24 hours, and the national recovery rate stands at 98.35%. Union Health Ministry said the country reported 9,216 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. Currently, India's active case load is 99,976. The Union Government has said that more than 138 crore 50 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. Health Ministry today said that over 22 crore 5 lakh unutilized vaccine doses are still available with the states and UTs to be administered. You were listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Infinity Forum, a thought leadership forum on Fintech. Finance is the lifeblood of an economy and technology is its carrier. Both are equally important for achieving Antodaya, says Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind confers annual national awards on International Day of Persons with Disabilities. 1,60,000 crore rupees transferred to the farmers directly under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, informs Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Tomar. Government says India is on its way to achieve population stabilization. Over 17.2 crore Ayushman cards issued to the health insurance scheme beneficiaries till 20th of last month, says Union Health Minister in the Lok Sabha. National COVID vaccination coverage crosses 126 crore mark. Recovery rate stands at 98.35%. Despite COVID-19, Navy has maintained combat and mission readiness, says Navy Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar. India were 80 for 3 when reports last came in the first day of the final and the second test match between India and New Zealand in Mumbai. And in Junior Hockey World Cup, India to take on Germany and France to clash with Argentina in the semi-finals in Bhubaneswar. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. Navy Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar said the situation on country's northern borders and COVID-19 have created two complex challenges. He, however, said the Indian Navy is ready to tackle both the challenges. Speaking at the Navy Day briefing, Admiral Kumar said, despite COVID-19, the Navy has maintained combat and mission readiness and resulted in preventing any misadventure in its maritime domain. Navy Chief said, of the 39 warships and submarines being built for Indian Navy, 37 are being built in India under Make in India, showing quest for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Admiral Kumar also emphasized that Navy has taken measures to provide additional opportunities to women officers. Odisha and Andhra Pradesh governments are fully geared up to tackle the impact of the impending cyclonic storm. As per the forecast by the Indian Meteorological Department, the deep depression in the Bay of Bengal is likely to develop into a cyclonic storm in the next 12 hours and head towards the South Odisha North Andhra coast. Due to its impact, heavy rainfall accompanied with gusty winds are likely to hit many areas of the coastal Odisha.
Meanwhile, is yet to be precisely determined. The Odisha government is not leaving anything to chance. Mr. T.K. Jaina, the Special Relief Commissioner of the state, said that all necessary measures like deployment of NDRF or DRAP and fire service teams, cyclone shelters, logistics and evacuation measures are being planned in keeping with the anticipated trajectory of the impending cyclonic storm. Quoting the IMD forecast, Mr. Jaina said that the cyclonic storm may either hit the coast anywhere between Ganjam, Puri and Jagatsinghpur districts. He appealed to the people, especially the coastal districts, not to venture out into the open during that period, in accordance with the upcoming profile of the probable cyclone from afternoon today, so as to complete the process by noon tomorrow. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Meanwhile, Director General IMD M. Mohapatra said that the current wind speed is 60 to 70 km per hour, gusting to 80 km per hour. He said the maximum impact of this cyclone will be on North Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Director General of National Disaster Response Force NDRF Atul Karwal said 46 teams have been deployed in West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Andaman and Nicobar. He said 18 NDRF teams are also being kept in reserve.
President Ramnath Kovind today paid floral tributes to the first President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, on his birth anniversary at Rashtrapati Bhavan. The officials of the Rashtrapati Bhavan also paid floral tributes before a portrait of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have paid tribute to the first President of independent India and Bharat Ratna, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, on his birth anniversary. In a tweet today, Mr. Modi said Rajendra Prasad made a special contribution to the freedom struggle of the country. He said Rajendra Prasad's life, dedicated in the interest of the nation, will always remain a source of inspiration for the countrymen. In a tweet today, Vice President also said Rajendra Prasad was a visionary statesman, accomplished lawyer, devout patriot and a true Gandhian.
In Bihar, Governor Phagu Chauhan and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar paid floral tribute to the first President, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, on his birth anniversary at his Samadhi in Patna. Birth anniversary of Rajendra Prasad is also being celebrated at his native village, Jeeradei, in Siwan district of the state. Dr. Prasad was born in Jeeradei on December 3, 1884. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at @AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404, issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Jago Grahak Jago.
And now let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
Today we remember one of the youngest freedom fighters, Khudiram Bose, who was born on the 3rd of December 1889 in Midnapur district. Khudiram was drawn towards revolutionary activities during adolescence and was inspired by Sri Aurobindo Ghosh and Sister Nivedita. He joined the revolutionary group Anushilan Samiti at the tender age of only 15.
The deciding moment of Khudiram's life came in 1908, when he and Prafulla Chaki were assigned the task of assassinating the British official Kingsford. Kingsford was infamous for torturous clamping down on revolutionaries. Initially, the plan was to throw a bomb in the court, but it was changed to avoid injuries to civilians present in the court.
Thereafter, on the 30th of April 1908, Bose threw a bomb on a carriage which he suspected was carrying Kingsford, but Kingsford escaped.
While police arrested Khudiram from the Vaini railway station in Samastipur district, Bihar, Prafulla Chaki killed himself before being caught. As Khudiram was brought handcuffed to the police station at Muzaffarpur, the entire town crowded around to take a look at the teenage boy.
On July 13th, 1908, Bose was sentenced to death. When the English judge asked him if he understood the meaning of the death sentence, Khudiram is known to have smiled and calmly nodded.
Khudiram said that his lawyer thought him too young to make bombs, but he can also teach the bomb making to the judge, if allowed, sometime before being hanged. Khudiram was martyred on the 11th of August, 1908. We salute this young revolutionary freedom fighter.
Today we also remember devoted national leader and the first president of the Indian Republic, Bharat Ratna, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who was born on the 3rd of December 1884.
जब हम स्वतंत्रता के अधिकारों को और आजादी के अख्तियारों को अपने हाथों में लेने जा रहे हैं, हमारा पहला कर्तव्य है हम उनके प्रति श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करें जिन्होंने इस दिन के लाने के लिए अपनी जिंदगी लगा दी और तरह तरह के कष्ट सहे.
Fondly called as Rajan Babu, he played a very important role in shaping the destiny of our nation and left an indelible imprint on our country's life and polity.
Rajendra Prasad met Gandhiji during the Champaran Satyagraha. Gandhiji's influence greatly altered many of his views, most importantly on caste and untouchability. Dr. Rajendra Prasad actively participated in the non-cooperation movement. He gave up his law practice and started a national college near Patna in 1921.
In July 1946, when the Constituent Assembly was established to frame the Constitution of India, he was elected its president.
देश में इस स्वतंत्रता प्राप्ति से जो उल्लास, जो खुशी और जो उत्साह होना चाहिए, वो इसका बंटवारा हो जाने के कारण किरकिरा हो गया. हमारा काम है कि जो हमारे साथ रह गया है उसको हम ऐसा सुंदर, सुव्यवस्थित, सुसंगठित और समुन्नत करें कि बिछड़े हुए प्रदेशों को फिर हमसे मिल जाना बहुत अधिक लाभप्रद मालूम हो. हम आशा करते हैं हम अपने व्यवहार से, अपनी कार्य दक्षता से उनको फिर अपनी ओर वापस ला सकेंगे.
On January the 26th, 1950, he was elected the nation's first president.
In 1962, after 12 years as president, Dr. Prasad retired and was subsequently awarded the Bharat Ratna, the nation's highest civilian award.
He died on the 28th of February 1963 at the age of 78. We salute this great national leader.
We also remember Ramadevi Chaudhary, a celebrated freedom fighter and a social reformer from Odisha. Gandhiji and Kasturba inspired her to dedicate herself for the cause of the country. Ramadevi, along with her family, plunged into the non-cooperation movement.
She was imprisoned on the 8th of November 1930 for leading the Salt Satyagraha at Srijanga Balasore and Kujanga Jagat Singhpur. Ramadevi founded Sevaghar, now a college, at Ramchandrapur, Badi, to reconstruct the flood-ravaged villages along the Brahmani river coast.
Gandhiji blessed her noble endeavour and inaugurated the ashram of austerity on the 20th of May 1934. Ramadevi was arrested on the 9th of August 1942, the day Gandhiji gave the clarion call of Quit India. After independence, Ramadevi dedicated herself entirely to the cause of the Bhudan and Gramdan movements of Acharya Vinoba Bhave.
We salute the great social worker and freedom fighter.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In the Junior Men's Hockey World Cup, defending champion India will take on six-time title winner Germany in the semi-final at 7:30 this evening at Bhubaneswar's Kalinga Stadium. The other semi-final between France and Argentina will also be played at 4:30 p.m. today. In the second test match between India and New Zealand in Mumbai, the hosts were 98 for 3 when reports last came in. After a solid start, India lost 3 quick wickets in quick succession. Ajaz Patel for New Zealand claimed all 3 wickets. Keeper Virat Kohli and Cheteshwar Pujara's bat patch still continues as both were dismissed without disturbing the scoreboard. Earlier, India won the toss and decided to bat first. The toss was officially been delayed due to wet patches on the outfield and the pitch.
In Himachal Pradesh, snowfall is being experienced in higher reaches of the state. Our correspondent reports that bad weather and snowfall continued in Lahaul Spiti district for the third day today. Darcha, Koksar, Gondla have received 3 inches of fresh snowfall. Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi is expected to witness shallow fog. It recorded a minimum temperature of 13 degrees Celsius, while the maximum be around 22 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. It noted a minimum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 29 degrees. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky. There will not be much change in temperature. Kolkata will have a mainly clear sky. City noted a minimum temperature of 18 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 29 degrees. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening, and Jammu will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Infinity Forum, a thought leadership forum on Fintech. Finance is the lifeblood of an economy and technology is its carrier. Both are equally important for achieving Antyodaya, says Prime Minister. President Ramnath Kovind confers annual national awards on International Day of Persons with Disabilities. 1,60,000 crore rupees transferred to the farmers directly under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme, informs Union Minister Narendra Tomar. Government says India is on its way to achieve population stabilization. Over 17.2 crore Ayushman cards issued to the health insurance scheme beneficiaries till 28th of last month, says Union Health Minister in Lok Sabha. National COVID vaccination coverage crosses 126 crore mark. Recovery rate stands at 98.35%. Despite COVID-19, Navy has maintained combat and mission readiness, says Navy Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar. India were 101 for 3 when reports last came in on the first day of final and second test match between India and New Zealand in Mumbai. And in Junior Hockey World Cup, India to take on Germany and France to clash with Argentina in the semi-finals in Bhubaneswar. And with that, we end the Midday News.